Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hi, I'm Ale. Thank you for joining us and welcome to today's Test It Tuesday. Also, if you are new here and you don't know what a Test It Tuesday is, I basically dedicate Tuesdays here on my channel to trying out different products, whether it's food or makeup or anything in between, and I put it to the test, and that's what we're doing today. So if you didn't already see by the title, today we will be testing out the infamous Maybelline Superstay Multi-Use Stick Foundation. I know this has been talked about and raved already like last month or so, and the problem with where I live, I'm not sure why or if I miss it every time, but new products take a little bit longer to reach our stores, whether it's Walmart, Target, CVS, Walgreens, all those type of things. They take a little bit longer to ship or for them to even get into stores, if you know what I'm saying. So it does take me a little bit longer to try out products, and sometimes I can't even find certain products that you know, you guys Snapchat me asking for a review. So anyways, I'm gonna, you know, take you guys throughout my day. Like I said, if you guys are new here and you don't know what a Test It Tuesday is, I test out products and then I try to, what do you call it, check in as often as I can. So I will apply whatever it is that I'm testing out. Like for today, I am testing out the foundation. So I did apply the foundation, and then I went throughout my day and did at least 3 check-ins. That way I could get like at least a full 8 hours of a review, because that's how long I typically wear my makeup for. So yeah, if you guys want to see how this worked out, or if it even worked out for me, then keep on watching. Keep in mind, everything that I try on might not work for you, and everything, you know, like vice versa. I do have dry skin, so if you have oily skin and this foundation works for you, then congratulations. But like I said, some products don't work for me just because of the different, you know, skin types and skin tones and everything like that. So wow, speaking a little too fast. So without any further ado, let's just get right into the review. Okay, so before we do get started for the review, I do want to say that I did lose my microphone. It's nowhere to be found, so if it sounds very echoey or the sound or audio is a little bit off, that is the reason why. But during editing, I will try to fix it if something does not sound as good as it does. But anyways, I am on the Maybelline's website, and I'm just going to give you guys a quick overview of what they say on there. They do carry 16 shades from what I see at the moment, and they do range, I mean, it's on their website, so it really doesn't, like, you can't really tell from the website unless, like, if it varies by color, unless you see them in person. I personally only found 6 shades in store at the one that I was at, and they were the lightest shades, so I can't really give you guys much. But the lightest shade they carry is called Classic Ivory, and that's 120, and the deepest shade they carry is called Espresso, and I cannot see the number because it does not let me, you know, slide it more. But from what I see, it's an okay range. On here, from what I could see on their website, the shade Golden does have an olivey-ish color, and then for some reason Honey and Warm Sun, which is in these, like, this is Honey and this is Warm Sun, I believe. Yeah, they look a little bit too light to be on, like, be compared or be considered a darker shade, but that's just my opinion. Like I said, it might look different in store or when you actually see the foundation in person. So according to their website as well, it says simplify your makeup routine with this multitasking foundation stick and blender, and it does cost $9.99. I believe this foundation that I use, the regular pump foundation, is around the same price range, I believe, but I know this one is around the same price, I believe, like I said 100 times already. But yeah, as you can tell, this one is pretty already gone. I've gone through 2 foundations of these already, and it's become easily my favorite one. So when I found out that they had a stick foundation, I had to go out and find it, even though it did take a little bit longer to find it than usual, because in my area, I'm not sure why things get released within maybe like a month later, like everything new that has already been released somewhere else, like it starts to release. So yeah, I guess not much is on their website. It just says what it is. It says Superstay Multi-Use multi-use foundation stick. Makeup is formulated with a cream to matte finish and pointed blender sponge for easy and quick application at home or out on the town. And then it just says how to use and apply foundation stick onto skin and blend with fingertips. Now it's really weird that they said to blend it out with fingertips when they gave you a sponge itself, like on the other end. So you do have the foundation on one side and then the blender sponge on the other. So for them to not even mention this on their how to use and apply, it's kind of weird. And it is soft, but it's like kind of, I wouldn't compare it to, it's probably a little bit more stiffer than the Real Technique sponge, so we'll see how that works. And yeah, that's basically it. And like I said, it's a cream to matte foundation, and it has a blender sponge, and yeah, basically that's all it says. So I'm gonna go ahead and get into the demo. How I was gonna compare these two foundations is one side I was gonna use the foundation stick and the other side I was gonna use the regular foundation, but as you can tell, I'm all out and I can't get like the last of it out of here, so that won't really work. So we're just gonna go ahead and use the whole foundation stick all over my face and wipe throughout the day and see how that works. So in both the stick and the pump, I am in the shade 220 beige, natural beige, I'm sorry. And I'm not a stick foundation type of person, to be honest, just because I do have like a lot of smile lines and, you know, under eye wrinkles. And I feel like even though I am dry, I feel like foundation sticks are more creamier and they just end up sliding off my face. So hopefully this one doesn't do that. And yeah, let's just go ahead and try it on. And it just says cream to matte formula with precision blender, and it says it is full coverage. So as we can see, I do have a little bit, you know, a pimple here, and then, you know, an old pimple going away, a few acne scars on this cheek. So I like to have a full cover foundation. So hopefully it's full coverage, but it feels lightweight, because I feel like this is how their other foundation is. I feel like it's actually real full coverage, but it doesn't feel like it's sitting on my skin. So this one, I was a little thrown off because they only give you about 0.25 ounces of foundation compared to their other pump foundation, which is 1 fluid ounce. And yeah, it's for $10. I mean, it's not bad, but just give me the full ounce, you know, so I could feel like I bought something that was worth it. Another thing, when I first opened it, let me look how much foundation that actually is. Like, it's basically nothing. And for someone who doesn't use foundation sticks, I don't know how much I'm gonna use or how fast I'm gonna go through this. So hopefully it lasts for quite a while, but we will see. So I'm just gonna go ahead and apply it, and then I'm gonna do nothing different that I normally do with my other pump foundation. So I'm just gonna go ahead and prime the skin with the Cover FX blurring primer. And I never really primed my face until I got this primer in BoxyCharm, so I'm really glad we got that, and I really like it actually. So that's a for sure repurchase item thing that I'm gonna get. So I'm just gonna go ahead, and I like to focus mainly on this area of my cheeks, just like right under the eyes, because I have the most pores right there. And then I'll just take the extra and spread it all around the face. So to try this out, I'm gonna, like I said, I'm not gonna do anything different that I would do with my pump foundation. So I'm gonna go in first with a brush, and this is from Sonia Kashuk. It has no name, so I'm sorry. This is the foundation brush I use, and yes, it is a little bit dirty, but it's okay. And then I go in with my damp Real Technique sponge and then just blend everything out to make sure I don't leave any like streakiness or anything behind. So like I said, I've never used a stick foundation. I don't know why I'm smelling it. It smells like nothing. But I'm just gonna go ahead and get started, I guess. I'm gonna do maybe 1, 2, 3. And just on the chin, and then I'm going to do half my face first, and then I'm going to go in and compare the two and then see how that works. So I'm going to take my brush and start tapping everything out. Hopefully this doesn't bring out texture, because I have a lot of texture, especially in the forehead area for me, and a little bit like along my cheekbone, because I am lactose, and every time I eat something like cheese or milk or anything dairy, it breaks me out, and I still cannot manage to stay away from any of that. So I will forever have texture on my skin as long as I live, because cheese is life. Alright, so I just went ahead and finished blending out the foundation. You still, I mean, obviously you could still see the pimple right here because it's raised up. But I mean, I feel like it was pretty easy for me to blend it out, especially with the brush. I do want to try a beauty sponge, but I'm scared that that's just going to lift the foundation. But I will give it a try once I am done with everything. So this side has no foundation whatsoever, obviously you could tell, and this side has the foundation. I know it looks a little bit dark, and I noticed it right away. I'm not sure why that is, but it is matching me, like where I'm looking in the mirror, it is matching me quite well. So maybe once I apply my highlight and, you know, my contour and everything, it will even out. But I mean, like I said, I got both in the same shade. So this is 220 Natural Beige, and this is 220 Natural Beige as well. So I don't see why there should be a big difference. But like I said, I'm not one who wears stick foundations, so I don't know if they're made it differently or if they oxidize. I'm not sure. But yeah, I really like how this side looks. It looks kind of even. From what I could see, my texture isn't like so out there. Obviously, I could see the texture because I know where it's at and I know what to look for. But, I mean, it's not that bad. It did cling on a little bit. Like, I have dry patches on the side of my nose. Can you see my dog? She's sicky right now. It did cling up a little bit on the dry areas of my nose. But hopefully that goes away once I go over it with a damp beauty sponge. But yeah, I'm just going to... And then the same thing I did with this eyebrow, I feel like it didn't do it as well because you still could kind of see. But I'm going to take what I used to clean up my eyebrows with and just take a little bit on the back of this brush and then go around my eyebrows and try to clean them up a little bit and get some coverage above the eyebrow so it just doesn't look like I have a halo surrounding my eyebrow. Okay, so I am back from wetting my beauty sponge, and I'm just going to go around and make sure I didn't leave any streaks behind or anything from the brush. So I do this on a regular basis anyways. So for anybody wondering, that's why I'm doing it. I'm not doing anything special with this stick foundation. I do feel like it is a little bit more oily though. Like I said at the beginning, I'm not one who wears stick foundations at all. I'm not a big fan of them. They feel a little bit greasy to me. This one doesn't feel greasy, but it just feels like very, how would I say it? Like very smooth, but not like a foundation. I mean, obviously it's not a foundation, but I don't know what I'm trying to say. Like, I feel like I want to say how it feels, but it doesn't want to come out. Like, it doesn't feel greasy, but it does feel like a little bit somewhat of oily texture. Like, not texture, but it has like a very wet type of feeling, and I'm not really liking it. I don't feel it on my skin. I don't feel like it's just sitting there and doing nothing, but I am not a fan of it. And I'm sure it's because, like I said, I've never, what do you call it, I've never been a stick foundation type of person, but I don't know. I'm not liking how it feels. It looks alright, to be honest. I'm not like, holy crap, like this is a life changer, but I don't know. It's not like the best foundation I've ever tried. But around the nose, it is clinging onto dry patches. It settled in pretty quickly into the fine lines. right here, it's already starting to lift from using a beauty sponge, so I think your best bet would be a brush. So I'm just adding a little bit more foundation. And for anybody wondering, yes, I am very picky with foundations or any makeup that I use, so don't think I'm being like extra harsh just because it's a stick foundation. No, I am not, but I am one who has always been very picky about the way my makeup has looked or the way certain products look. So before you start thinking that, oh, you're just saying all that because you don't like stick foundations, it's like, no, I'm actually this critical about foundations and, you know, powders and everything. So yeah, so I'm gonna let this sit on the skin a little bit longer, maybe like a minute or two longer before I go in and conceal and highlight. I'm actually surprised about the under eyes a little bit because with this foundation itself, the pump foundation, it kind of turns my under eyes a little bit grayish. So I'm curious to see if that's going to happen with the stick foundation once I apply my concealer. I am all out of my Tarte Shape Tape, which is my all-time favorite concealer. So I've been using the NYX HD Studio Concealer. Not a fan of this whatsoever, and I did forget to mention this in my products I don't like video. I will link that below if you guys are curious to see it. But yeah, I forgot to mention this. This is like one of my least favorite foundations I've ever tried in my entire life. But I am all out of concealer. My Tarte Shape Tape concealer. So I bought this one because I thought I would like it. So now that I have it, I'm going to use it up. So yeah, I'm going to let this sit on the skin and settle in. And then I'm going to go in and conceal and highlight and see how every other product I use on a regular basis sits on top of this foundation. Once I'm done with that, I will come back and then we will see an overview of how everything looks and turned out. Okay, so we're all done with the makeup. I was going to add on some lashes or whatever, but I don't feel like it. And to be honest, I'm not doing much today anyways. So I think I'm going to go ahead and skip out the lashes. I also wanted to skip out on the highlight. And the reason why I want to skip out the highlight this time is because it is a new foundation for me, a new formula. So I want to see if any of my oils decide to peek through. I already know for sure that my nose is gonna wear off first because it always does, especially now that it is like 1,000 degrees outside. So yeah, kept it kind of natural-ish. I'm sorta liking the way my makeup is looking, sorta not, because like I did mention it before, under my eyes I don't usually color correct unless I'm going out somewhere or my eye bags look pretty freaking bad, and today they're not that bad. So I didn't color correct, but that foundation actually did cover up a little bit, and I guess you could still see them, but they're not as bad. And before with these foundation right here, it usually turns my under eyes. It doesn't turn them, but they end up looking gray once I'm done with everything and setting the foundation. I'm not sure why. Here, when I'm looking in my mirror, they do look a little bit gray, but not how they usually would. I also did notice that it, even after setting the foundation, it already creased right here at the biggest eye bag line that I have, I guess. I don't know what it's called. The biggest wrinkle that I have under my eyes. So, as well as it did cling to little dry patches that I have here. This area, if I don't do facials or if I don't get facials done, it's a mess. And foundations typically do stick onto there, but not as bad as this one did. I also did mention that I have dry spots around the nose right now too. So it did cling onto that. I'm going to go ahead and zoom you guys up so you guys could kind of see. I'm kind of scared to show you guys up close, but it's just what it is. I'm not going to like not show you guys because I feel like that's the point of these types of videos, and to give you guys the honest truth. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom you guys up so you guys could see what I'm talking about and take a look at how the foundation sits on unfiltered skin. I was gonna say unbotoxed skin, but I have no problem with that. But still, like, this is how foundation looks on regular natural skin. I hope nobody takes that the wrong way, but it is 2018, so who knows. But anyways, I'm gonna show you guys right now so we could actually see how it looks. So hang tight and I will insert those clips right now. So I am starting with my mouth area first so you guys could kind of see how it looks around that. Right here you could see it's like really clinging on. Welcome to Texture Land, and that's how it looks. Like I said, I do have a whole lot of texture because I am lactose intolerant and I do nothing to avoid cheese, milk, or any type of dairy. So I'm scoring myself over it, yes, I know. And then that's how it looks around the nose. Sorry, I'm very shaky, but under the eyes you could see right here that it, you know, and yeah, that's how it looks. From far away, it's not this bad, but it could be worse, but it could be a whole lot better as well. Now that you guys got kind of like a look of how my skin actually looks in person, I'm going to go ahead and go about my day. It is a little bit later on in the day. It is 2:34 and I will try to squeeze in 3 check-ins like I usually do, but if I don't, I will try to give you guys just like maybe 2 long descriptions of what's been happening over the day. Like I said, I don't have much to do today. It is, let's see how hot it is at the moment. It's 97 degrees, so hopefully this holds up. I mean, we'll see. So I feel like it will over time start breaking up, but hopefully it doesn't. So let's just keep going about our day. I'm gonna go ahead and, you know, grab some lunch real quick, eat something, and then I'm gonna start filming another video as well that will be going up maybe Wednesday or Thursday. I'm not really sure, but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And I will check in with you guys maybe at 4. So it's 2:35 now. So around 4, it'll be on for at least 2 hours tops if I'm doing math right. So yeah, I'm going to check in and then I'm going to continue to go about my day. And then I will see you guys for the final check-in once I am done with everything. Alright, so I know I had said I was going to do a check-in around 4, but it is 3:25-ish in a second, and I've kind of already ran into a snug. Earlier I was in the kitchen and I accidentally rubbed my face and don't know why it's not picking it up. I will try natural lighting, but I accidentally like rubbed my face to like scratch myself like that, and the foundation like smudged away. So now I have like the foundation, my natural skin, and my foundation. You can't tell much. Oh, actually right here you can. And then it also, look how dry that little area right there looks right here. And then my mouth area around here, from the distance it looks pretty normal, but once I get really close and look into the mirror, it looks dry and almost gray. Like you could kind of tell here I have like an overcast of something, and usually that does not happen. My under eyes still look pretty good covered, but I just keep noticing that I get creasing under the eyes, and every time I go to wipe away the crease, I wipe away some foundation. Also, my nose area has been sweating quite often. And like I do say, none of the foundations I use really stay on my nose unless I prime my nose with an eyeshadow base and then apply foundation. I don't do that every day, so that's why I didn't do it in this video. Ooh, excuse me. But other than that, like, see, there's a foundation. Here's what the nose looks like. It hasn't really broken up at all, but I do feel a little bit greasy. Like, I feel like you could see some oils peeping through. Like I did say, I didn't highlight, so some oils are popping in through. I'm not liking how it's settling into the skin. after only having it on for like 2.5 hours, if anything. So I'm gonna give it another 2 hours and we will see where it will be at that time. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm not really liking it. So I don't know. We'll give it another 2 hours and then I'll come back. Like I said, it is 3:26, right, 3:30 right now. So it is 3:26, but I'm rounding it out to 3:30. So I'll come back later in 2 hours and then we'll see how it actually has been working out. But like right now, like I said, I could kind of feel it sitting on my skin. It feels a little bit thick and it just feels very uncomfortable. Like I want to wipe it off already, but I'm going to leave it on my skin a little bit longer and see where it takes us throughout the day. Now that you guys got kind of like a look of how my skin actually looks in person, I'm going to go ahead and go about my day. It is a little bit later on in the day. It is 2:34 and I will try to squeeze in 3 check-ins like I usually do, but if I don't, I will try to give you guys just like maybe 2 long descriptions of what's been happening over the day. Like I said, I don't have much to do today. It is, let's see how hot it is at the moment. It's 97 degrees, so hopefully this holds up. I mean, we'll see. So I feel like it will over time start breaking up, but hopefully it doesn't. So let's just keep going about our day. I'm gonna go ahead and, you know, grab some lunch real quick, eat something, and then I'm gonna start filming another video as well that will be going up maybe Wednesday or Thursday. I'm not really sure, but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And I will check in with you guys maybe at 4. So it's 2:35 now, so around 4 it'll be on for at least 2 hours tops if I'm doing math right. So yeah, I'm gonna check in and then I'm gonna continue to go about my day, and then I will see you guys for the final check-in once I am done with everything. Alright, so I know I had said I was gonna do a check-in around 4, but it is 3:24, 25-ish in a second, and I've kind of already ran into a snug. Earlier I was in the kitchen and I accidentally rubbed my face and don't know why it's not picking it up. I will try natural lighting, but I accidentally like rubbed my face to like scratch myself like that, and the foundation like smudged away. So now I have like the foundation, my natural skin, and my foundation. You can't tell much. Oh, actually right here you can. And then it also, look how dry that little area right there looks right here. And then my mouth area around here, from the distance it looks pretty normal, but once I get really close and look into the mirror, it looks dry and almost gray. Like you could kind of tell here I have like an overcast of something, and usually that does not happen. My under eyes still look pretty good covered, but I just keep noticing that I get creasing under the eyes, and every time I go to wipe away the crease, I wipe away some foundation. Also, my nose area has been sweating quite often, and like I do say, none of the foundations I use really stay on my nose unless I prime my nose with an eyeshadow base and then apply foundation. I don't do that every day, so that's why I didn't do it in this video. Ooh, excuse me. But other than that, like, see, there's a foundation. Here's what the nose looks like. It hasn't really broken up at all, but I do feel a little bit greasy. Like, I feel like you could see some oils peeping through. Like I did say, I didn't highlight, so some oils are popping in through. I'm not liking how it's settling into the skin after only having it on for like 2.5 hours, if anything. So I'm gonna give it another 2 hours and we will see where it will be at that time. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm not really liking it. So I don't know. We'll give it another 2 hours and then I'll come back. Like I said, it is 3:26, right, 3:30 right now. So it is 3:26, but I'm rounding it out to 3:30. So I'll come back later in 2 hours and then we'll see how it actually has been working out. But like right now, like I said, I could kind of feel it sitting on my skin. It feels a little bit thick and it just feels very uncomfortable. Like I want to wipe it off already, but I'm gonna leave it on my skin a little bit longer and see where it takes us throughout the day. Okay, so I tried taking a nap, right? And that failed epically. But as you can tell, half my foundation on here is missing. And this one isn't that bad. I will get into better lighting. Let me plug in my lights. Okay, so it smudged all this because I was laying like that. I don't have the foundation on my hand, but this whole chunk right here is just missing, like from where my contour was. And I did clean up my contour a little bit, but it, like, I literally have no foundation. Like, all right here. And this side is perfectly fine. And yeah, it just looks really disgusting around the mouth. Like, very bad. And here's that dry patch that's still hanging on for dear life. The nose is another thing. Under the eyes, like, I feel like my makeup is slowly starting to break apart. So that's just what it looks like compared to the last check-in that I did for you guys. Yeah, and it's only been an hour. Like, I've been checking in within an, like, hourly because surprisingly, like, this foundation has not been holding up as well as I thought. I did like it. I kind of started warming up to it maybe 30 to 40 minutes in, but now that it's actually sat on my face for at least 4 hours, I'm just already over it. Like, I feel like no oils has peeped through or anything, but it's just been transferring like crazy. I don't know. It just doesn't look nice now that, like, see, like this area just look like my mouth area just looks disgusting in general. So I'm not liking that whatsoever. I will give it 1 more hour before I completely just take this mess off because I'm just not liking it. Like, we're not here for it, but we're gonna give it 1 more hour and see how it holds up then. I haven't been sweating as much because I have been indoors just like reorganizing and everything. So I've been in the AC mainly all day, so I could only imagine how it would look out in the sun or like after a few hours of being outdoors or doing something outdoors. But yeah, that's how it's looking up and holding up so far. Is not looking good, but like I said, I'm gonna give it 1 more hour and we'll see where it takes us. Okay, so I am back. I am a little too close, whatever, but I am back with my final check-in. It looks the same. It hasn't gotten any worse or any better, to be honest, but I wouldn't expect it to get better. But I also didn't expect it to go the way it did. I actually really had high hopes for this foundation. I kind of knew right away putting it on that it wasn't going to be for me just because it did have that silky texture to it. And I'm not used to that type of stuff. So I kind of knew from the get-go that it wasn't going to work for me. I gave it a try anyways, but here we are. And, you know, I'm not sure. I haven't seen any reviews on this foundation just because I wanted to give my own opinions and, you know, not have other people's opinions like kind of influence me in some type of way just in case. So I didn't even bother to check any other videos just in case. But yeah, so far I'm not a big fan of the foundation. I did give it, you know, good hours of testing. It did wear off. It did dry down matte, and it actually dried down pretty fast, which I forgot to mention. And now I don't feel like sticky or anything throughout the day, even though I have been kind of sweating. As well as, you know, it did smudge off in a few areas of my face, my nose. It broke apart, but I'm not judging that based off of that because every foundation it tends to like rub off in the nose area. Oh, excuse me. So yeah, even though maybe a lot of people do like this foundation. Like I said, I wouldn't know because I haven't watched the reviews. But as for me, I'm going to go ahead and skip this out and stick to my regular Superstay foundation, the actual pump version instead of the stick. I feel like we will, at least me, for someone who likes something really full coverage on the first, time, or sometimes there are days where I have to go in extra with extra foundation. I feel like this wouldn't even last a long time, because like I said, they do give you 0.25 ounces of this. So for me, I think maybe less than a month it would last, if anything. But yeah, like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and skip out on the stick foundation. I also said that I didn't use this sponge applicator. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end the video now so I can finally wash this off, because I feel like it's there. Like, I know obviously it's there, but I feel like it's just sitting there and I'm not liking it. So I'm gonna go ahead and just, wash this off, end the video, wash this off, and then edit, and it will be up. So yeah, without further ado, thank you guys all so much for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you guys want to see me try anything out that you guys have been eyeballing, or are curious as to how it would work, then leave me a comment down below and I will check them out. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I will talk to you guys next time.